Yo, welcome to another CCG video. Today we are going to be running the Lair with with the ARCHMAGE, and not by himself completely, but not with a full team like you've been watching. All right. So as you saw from the thumbnail, I actually have been able to get him up to 30 stacks on his S3 buff. Right. So why is that helpful? So first of all, I've read that some people are actually failing, and I believe the evil one, and that's with running 7 jungle hearts, I believe, right? So me personally, I didn't have that many jungle hearts, but as you can see here, I was already working on my swordsman team. I got a few more in storage that were waiting to 6-star, but man, guys, I'll tell you what, man, I don't have the runes, man, and I farm. So the people that are running this swordsman team initially, I mean, I'm pretty sure they buy runes, which is totally fine. I mean, that's fine. But for someone that is free to play, it's kind of hard to get those runes, to then get the conflict runes to make it fast, okay? I mean, it's just so many resources. It's going to take forever. So luckily, I did run across a video from Millenial Plays, and that's who I'm going to give credit to because that's where I saw it first, and he was running the jungle hearts with the mage, right? So unfortunately, I didn't have enough jungle hearts. I had been feeding them, so I only had one at the time. Luckily, I was able to pull 2 more after that, and then I'm like, okay, now how can I do this? So let me show you guys something. So I started thinking, and I wanted to do something like this. So this soul recall, it resets the cooldowns of an ally skills. All right, the skill cannot reset itself. It can reset itself, but it can be reset by something else. So if you saw my last video, I was lucky enough to pull a Cleopatra. So the cool thing about Cleo is this skill right here, man. Eye of the Horus. The Horus blessing reigns supreme. Revive all allies with full HP and energy. Reset all revived allies skill cooldowns, and revived allies will only survive for 1 turn though, okay? And obviously it's unable to revive allies that have the same skill. So you kind of can't stack 3 or 4 Cleopatras and then just do this endlessly, okay? Now, so my thought was, okay, well, I can use this skill, and then the shaman will refresh it, and then I can just take that cycle and keep it going, right? And I'll tell you what, guys, it works. It does. But not in Lair. For some reason, the shaman sometimes, after being revived, he won't use that skill. He'll use skill 2 or skill 1. And I mean, I don't understand why, but unfortunately, it doesn't work. So I was kind of bummed about that, right? So I'm like, okay, but since I don't have the jungle hearts, let me try this. So I tried the druid, and then I tried my 3 jungle hearts. And I tried the 3 jungle hearts, and I noticed that as soon as they died, because they have no runes, then I was able to get them back up with her, and then they would stack him again. So it was like I had 6 jungle hearts. And I'm like, ah. And then it started working. It started working. It was just that easy. And I'm like, wait a minute, let's see. What if I can make Cleo survive even longer? And that's exactly what I did, guys. So what I did, and I even skilled her up because she was already going to be part of my team. So I have this Celine to make somebody invincible whenever she heals. So speed tunings to where she healed the Cleo every time. She'd be invincible because remember, she's going to get her cooldowns reset whenever Cleo revives her as well, right? So I was running her without runes as well. So if you are gonna run her, now you don't need her. I mean, you can use anyone else. Honestly, you kind of just need a healer because Cleo, as long as I'll show you guys her runes. So Cleo is on speed, HP, not the best of runes. I mean, it's only plus 31,000 HP and plus, I mean, almost plus 0 defense, right? And she's really just on focus and stalwart for the resistance, and then broken. I mean, not the best runes, but if you would invest your best runes on her, you kind of just need a healer that will heal her every time. It could even be the druid. You don't even need the immunity, and I'll show you guys. But okay, let's see how many stacks we can get this to with this one. All right, and then the druid is basically at 0 runes. You only want some speed on here, just enough to go before the jungle hearts so that the jungle hearts can actually extend the buff, okay? So because the jungle hearts base speed is a little bit higher, 107, than the mage, okay? So that's why you put just whatever rune, just get them above 107 and you're good. And again, you don't even need the druid. I actually have runes on the druid, but you don't even need the druid. The jungle hearts are going to move after the mage, and that's why you want that one rune that's got a little bit of speed, because the jungle hearts base speed is higher than the mage. So you just want the mage to move first so that he can put that buff up, right? There it is, that buff right there. And look at that, 3, 4, right? It's already extended. So now that the jungle hearts are dead, she brings them back up, and they do it again, right? Now you notice the harpy and the Selene there. So the Selene is really just there to heal and kind of keep the Cleo alive just long enough to where she can do this again once or twice more. And the harpy's there to reduce the cooldown on the Cleo so she can do it more often. And then once you get the mage up to enough stacks, then that's it. That's it. Now, this way, it does take a little longer for sure, especially because I'm doing the lawful one. But look, okay, so now that the harpy's dead, next time she revives them, so the harpy's going to be using her S3 every time, just like that. It reduces that cooldown. And obviously, all the jungle hearts use theirs. They're extending him, so he's at 11 right now. Now that those other two are dead, and you want your Cleo on the back line because you want the other ones to die so that Cleo can revive and reset their cooldown basically every time, right? And you want the invincibility on the Cleo just for that, so she can heal herself and live another turn. So she can get her cooldown back and bring them all back. See, there you go, boom. The harpy reduces her cooldown again, and now you see the cycle, right? You see the jungle hearts. They got he's already at 16 now, and now, like I said, it's gonna be sped up quite a bit. I think maybe I might want to rune the jungle hearts. Maybe even taking a 5-star and just put, because they do hit once in a while like that because they extend Cleopatra's buff. So maybe throw some damage on them and maybe speed it up a little bit. I don't know. I may be testing that, but boom. See, there it is. The harpy does her thing, resets, reduces the cooldown by 1 turn. And now he was just at 19 stacks, and a few more times, and we're going to get him all the way up to 30. And then, at this point, if the Cleo dies, he's not gonna. There's no way that the mage doesn't do this. But you see how fast she gets it back, and that's really with one harpy. If I were to run 2 harpies, I could probably get this guy stacked up to 50. I've gotten him stacked up to 40 before, which is pretty crazy. All right, we're gonna fast forward. You guys kind of saw basically the whole thing, really. Now, again, the reason I'm showing you guys this, and I understand, not everyone's gonna have a Cleopatra, but it would, if for some reason the mage's skill 2 does indeed get patched, and if it was a bug or whatever, man, I'll tell you what, you better start doing Apex. You better start doing Apex and kind of maybe re-rolling maybe your Yaksha if you got her, or even one of the other net 4s, the LD net 4s, hopefully until you get your Cleo, right? Because she's pretty damn awesome, man. She really is. If you haven't, make sure you do subscribe, because I'm going to be showing you how I use her with the shaman, kind of like how I was showing you how I wanted to use it here, but it didn't work because the shaman derps. Look at that, 27 stacks now, 27. And like I said, I've gotten him all the way up to 40 before. It can get crazy. Ideally, you don't want it to get that high, because that just means the run took longer, right? And that's it. That's all you need, man. You need just Cleo and the mage, and then boom, right? You should have a harpy, and you should have at least 3 jungle hearts. So let me show you guys the reason that people are having trouble in the evil one is basically because of the passive right here. He does that destruction status, and that destruction status deals 10% of their max HP every time they act. So what happens is, if the mage actually procs enough, you see this one right here, if you procs enough, you see the mage taking damage. That's the reason why people are failing. But if you bring in the healers like you saw with the harpy, I didn't even bring the Selene, but that's really all you need. And you know, that's it. This is actually one of the fastest ones he can do, because the boss does do that quite a bit of damage. So it works just fine. And I forgot to unclick auto. There we go. Alright guys, but that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys maybe now want to pull a Cleopatra, and I hope you guys pull her if you do. Make sure you guys subscribe, because I'm going to be showcasing a little bit more of Cleopatra in other areas of the game. She really is very, I mean, that skill is just ridiculous. I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a cycle, like I was saying that I want to do with the shaman. And I'm going to show you that it does indeed work in other places. It's tricky, but it does work. Alright guys, thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like, drop a comment, let me know what you guys think about this team. There you have it guys. Cleopatra and the ARCHMAGE are OP as hell for the Lair. If you didn't know, now you know. You know.